bit and go into the Big Blue locker room to talk trivia about this week's opponent, the Bears. So with that, I now give you Know Your Foe.
Know Your Foe, brought to you by your Tri-State BMW centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Frank Sinatra famously sang that Chicago is A city that doesn't sleep, B, my kind of town, or C, the windy wonderland.
B.
The Bears have appeared in 2 Super Bowls, Michael. How many have they won?
I'm going to say the 85 Bears won. Have they won another one? I'm going to just say one.
One it is. This Bears Hall of Famer coached Chicago to its only Super Bowl victory.
Mike Vick.
The NFL's Man of the Year award is named after this former Bears great.
Oh, yeah, Walter Payton.
See, I didn't even have to give you multiple choice. Which member of the Giants or organization won the Man of the Year award in 2016? Would it be A, Eli Manning? Would it be B, John Mara? Or would it be C, Odell Beckham Jr.?
Definitely not C. A, Eli Manning.
The city of Chicago is known as which of the following nicknames? A, the Windy City. B, the Second City. C, Chi-Town. Or D, all of the above?
I'm going to say all of the above.
All of the above. What is the name of the Bears' current head coach? A, John Fox. B, Matt Nagy. C, Lovie Smith.
Matt Nagy?
Chicago is known for this unique style of pizza. Would it be A, artichoke pizza, B, steak and eggs pizza, or C,
Deep dish pizza.
All right. The 1985 Super Bowl winning Bears brought fame to which popular dance?
Okay, let's go.
A, the Bears bounce. B, the Super Bowl shuffle, or C, the Icky shuffle?
Ooh, hold on, because 2 of them sound familiar. Icky shuffle, hold on.
Super Bowl shuffle, yeah.
Know Your Foe.
I love that Super Bowl shuffle. All right, time for our picks, Russ.
Let's go.
You know, in talking to Paul a little bit longer after our insider segment, Chicago plays mistake-free football, 21-17 Bears.
Well, listen, I'm more worried about the Giants' defense than Khalil Mack, and they played lousy last week. I think they improved, so I'm going to say the Giants. They're going to win this one by 1, 27-26, and you can watch all the game action, folks, tomorrow on Fox 5, beginning for you at 1 p.m.
And that's a wrap on our NFL Week 13 edition of Giants Kickoff. For our entire Giants crew, I'm Tina Cervasio.
And I'm Russ Salzberg. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and have a great Giants football Sunday.
Ohio State. The Big Ten Championship tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Unlike Santa's presents, ours don't just magically appear. They're designed meticulously. Every bolt, stitch, line of code, tested and tested again. Until finally this. Elves got nothing on us.
Now get an F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months or lease for only $189 a month, only at your local Ford store.
This year, 2,800 people waiting for a liver transplant will die waiting. Don't wait. Find out about living donor liver transplants at UPMC today. Living donor liver transplants mean less waiting and better outcomes. UPMC is the nation's leader in living donor liver transplants. So why wait for a liver transplant? Call UPMC today. UPMC, life-changing medicine.
What's good, Dr. Al Kings?
Not UCB, you're winning, but you haven't won enough. You've got acute wind deficiency.
Oh, no.
But there's an easy cure. DraftKings' new sportsbook app. You can bet on the games you want anytime you want. And if you download now, DraftKings will match your first bet instantly up to $200.
That's good news.
I do have some bad news. It looks like your playing days are over. You'd always try the broadcast booth. You don't need talent in there.
Download now and we'll instantly match your first bet up to $200 with code PUSH.
Holidays are here. Make the most of the road home. Hurry in to receive a credit of up to $3,000 on select models now through January 2nd.
Welcome to Fox College Basketball. On the journey to March Madness, we bring you all the marquee matchups.
What an electric atmosphere.
This should be fun. Enjoy it.
Watch out. Here we go. Big time delivery. Hashtag spectacular.
Fox is the soul of college basketball, where the biggest names from the best conferences come out to play.
Spins to his left, gets around the defender, and scores it off the glass. Zags back on top. Martin to Martin. Cody with the throwdown. Off the dish from Caleb.
Fox College Basketball starts right now.
Hey, Seton Hall lost a lot from last year, but they still got this guy, Myles Powell. He dropped 40 earlier this season. He's averaging 24.3 for the season, leading the Seton Hall Pirates against Louisville today. And, of course, this guy, Jordan Nwora, he's their leading scorer at 17.7 points per game, 7.7 rebounds per game. Louisville coming off a huge signature win against Michigan State. The Hall, the card, coming up right here on Fox. We welcome you to Fox College Hoops pregame, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Mike Hill hanging out with Casey Jacobson and the coach Steve Lavin. Guys, college football season just about wrapping up. The Big Ten championship game coming up a little bit later on today on Fox, but Saturdays now belong to college basketball. So guys, give me an idea of what's on your radar today.
The West is trying to break through, guys. Did you know that since 1960, only 3 Western college basketball programs have won a national title? UCLA, which won many, UNLV won a title in the early 90s, and Arizona in 1997. And that is it. And there are a lot of fans that are watching our air today that are maybe hoping that Nevada and Gonzaga could be the first Western programs to cut down the nets first in 22 years.
Top 5 teams.
Yeah, 2 great contenders there. I agree in terms of Final Four. And maybe throw Oregon in the mix as well. When they're at full strength, think they could punch through to a Final Four with Dana Altman. I'm looking forward to seeing Iggy Brazdeikis. Stout, powerful forward for the Michigan Wolverines, another team that could win a national title this year, well coached by John Beilein. And his father, mixed martial martial arts,
MMA
athlete, yeah, and he brings that toughness. Casey likes the fact that he flexes as well, got the pipes going.
He's in the gym with you, Lav?
Absolutely, yeah.
Got Michigan. He's looking good. He's really cocky out there. Hey, you know what? College basketball has been going on for a while. It's time for today's headlines and what happened this past week. And we know and we've heard a lot about Zion Williamson since he was in high school, where he continues to be the talk of the college basketball world right now. Tuesday, he scored 25 points in a dominant win over Indiana as they bounce back after that loss against Gonzaga. Zion is now shooting over 66% on the season. Hey, the release of the NCAA's new net rankings came under plenty of scrutiny. 3 different teams claimed the top spot throughout the week, including Ohio State, Texas Tech, and Virginia. And the ACC Big Ten Challenge saw the 2 conferences split their 14 head-to-head matchups. highlighted by Michigan's blowout of North Carolina and Louisville's upset win once again over Michigan State in overtime. Let's look to see how good these conferences have been so far this season, arguably the two best conferences in college basketball so far. 17 combined wins over top 25 opponents between the two, ACC and, of course, the Big Ten. But let's talk about guys out west once again. Let's talk about Gonzaga, the #1 team in the nation, coming off that win against Duke, looking good, 7-0, and they got an All-American in Rui Hachimura, who has developed into one of the better players in the nation. How has he done it, Casey?
Well, he's come a long way. Remember, just 2 years ago, Gonzaga played in the national title game against North Carolina. Rui didn't log a second in that game. And now, just 2 years later, he's developed into one of the better power forward scorers in all of college basketball. And we're going to show you why they're so hard to guard. Last year, he was just 5 for 26 from 3. And right here, Marquise Bolden from Duke's like, yeah, you can have the shot. Well, he's now shooting 50% from there. He's also a really nice isolation scorer. Here, he's matched up against Zion Williamson, the immovable object, except he moves him out of position. He uses that off arm to push off, and he rises and hits that medium range jumper. And if you put somebody small on him in the post, he can go down there. He faces up. Duke's going to bring a double team here, but they still can't stop Rui, who put more muscle on this past offseason. He's increased his scoring from 12 points last year to 22 this year. He could have maybe been a first-round draft pick last year, decides to come back, and he's better for it.
Well, couldn't agree more. And when you look at programs that are at the elite level, one of the hallmarks, one of the traits is player development. And Hachimura is an example of a player that's improved, not only because of the confidence from last year's experience, but the fact that he's a marksman now, shooting at a higher percentage from long distance. That stretches defenses and opens up his ability to drive to the basket. And let's give Mark Few credit for deploying Hachimura in a creative way. They'll post him up where he can take advantage of his size against smaller defenders. They'll isolate him where he can drive slower defenders off the bounce. They involve him in two-man game in terms of pick and rolls. And that's good coaching, putting your players in position to be successful based off their skill set and matchups.
All right, we saw Gonzaga, of course, beat Duke, and it surprised a lot of people out there because a lot of people thought Duke was an unbeatable team this year. But what tells you about this Gonzaga team that lets you know that they have this kind of staying power, that they are legitimate, the front runners to win the national title this year?
They are a complete basketball team, and we've seen this. Gonzaga has been around contending for national titles for the last 5 or so years. This is the third time they've been ranked #1. You remember in 2017, their front court, Shemek Karnowski was huge. Jonathan Williams III down there. This year, I think their front court is more agile, a little bit more athletic, and this is a better offensive unit. They have Josh Perkins, a senior point guard, and now we already talked about Rui Hachimura. Brandon Clark, the San Jose State transfer, is bouncy and agile. They can switch all pick and rolls last, so defensively they have a little bit more versatility.
Yeah, and you look at the top, the leadership. Mark Few, he is a Hall of Fame coach in the making. Actually, the winningest coach in all of college basketball active in terms of his winning percentage. People think about Coach K, Roy Williams. They're great, but Mark Few actually has a higher winning percentage, and I agree with Casey in terms of they've been doing this for a while now. They expect to get to a Final Four and win a national title. Yes, they play in the West Coast Conference, but they're an elite basketball program coming out of the West Coast Conference.
And they don't even have Killian Tilly yet, one of their better players. You will see Gonzaga, the #1 team in the nation, taking on Creighton a little bit later on today on Fox. Meanwhile, some sad news for our country as George H.W. Bush died late last night at his home in Houston. The 44th president of the United States spent one term in the Oval Office from 1989 to 1993 after serving 2 terms as Ronald Reagan's vice president. Bush's wife, Barbara, passed away in April. He is survived by 5 children, including former President George W. Bush and 17 grandchildren. George H.W. Bush was 94 years old. Well, Seton Hall lost plenty of production from last season's graduating class, and now Myles Powell is taking full advantage of the extra opportunity. Michael Enzi, Seton Hall, ready to roll. Pirates looking good so far, taking on a Louisville Cardinals team at home. That's coming up in about 22 minutes right here on Fox.
We're in a small room.
What?
Welcome.
A bigger room?
How many of you use car insurance?
Oh,
Well, what if I showed you this?
Ho, ho, ho!
Wow.
It's a computer.
We compare rates to help you get the price and coverage that's right for you.
That's amazing. The only thing that would make this better is if my mom were here. What? An unexpected ending!
Most people still think that Arby's only serves roast beef sandwiches. Well, if that's the case, we sure have a lot of odd-looking roast beef sandwiches. This roast beef sandwich looks a lot like a smoked brisket sandwich. This one here looks like a Reuben. It's uncanny. And these are the strangest looking roast beef sandwiches I've ever seen.
I agree, Chef.
Thank you.
Arby's, we have the meat.
For sandwiches.
Christmas trees try so hard. Lights, ornaments, and little choo-choo trains, come on. The best trees, they kind of only need two things. Peanut butter and chocolate. Not sorry, Reese's.
Open up your eyes, you're about to see a new thing. Open up your eyes, you're about to see a new thing. Everybody want a new thing. Take it if you like it, everybody want a new thing.
Can you explain what internet is?
Netscape. Pixelon. TheGlobe.com. This is the beginning of what they called the browser wars.
Welcome back to the Orville.
Oh my God.
All hands, begin prepping all stations for first contact.
I am capable of causing you great pain, Captain.
Oh, wow.
Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, your first-round pick for car insurance. Morning Madness at Seton Hall earlier today. Students gathered on campus at Walsh Gymnasium for pre-game festivities and giveaways in anticipation of their big game against Louisville today. You see Raph getting ready. He's always ready to go. Raph got up early this morning. Yeah. All right, man, he's ready to go as well. Louisville, of course, coming off that big win against Michigan State. He's unstoppable at that free throw line, as you can see. Let's get out for a preview. Send it out to my guy, Andy Katz, who's with Louisville's head coach, Chris Mack.
All right, thanks, Mike. So, Chris, you were in the Big East from its inception, this new Big East. Now you're playing an old Big East rival. What are some of your memories that just, as you face the Seton Hall team that you're very familiar with, what pops in your head?
Just the tough teams that Kevin's always had. You know, obviously they lost a lot from a year ago, but much like Louisville. And, you know, I just remember those battles, both home and away, and always felt like he did a terrific job preparing his team, and they played with a toughness that sort of embodies this part of the country.
Last season, Miles Powell was not their top option. Now he's slid up to #1. You're very familiar with him. To beat Seton Hall, what do you have to do to stop Powell?
Well, he can't have a night like he had against Grand Canyon. You know, he's a terrific scorer, and although he wasn't their primary guy, he had nights like that a year ago. And so we have to make sure that whether it's in transition, you know, whether it's in the half court, we have an awareness of where he is and make his looks as difficult as we possibly can. And you know, he's a good player, a really good player, and just got to make him earn it.
Appreciate it, Chris.
Thanks, Andy.
Back to you, Mike.
Yeah, he had 40 against Grand Canyon. Hey, the resume Chris Mack put together at Xavier more than qualified him for his new job at Louisville. Mack took the Musketeers to the NCAA tournament in 8 of his 9 seasons as head coach, led them to their first ever regular season Big East title last year. All right, time now for quick hitters. Let's put 1:30 on that clock, and let's go 2 minutes, actually. I'm going to get some more time today. I like that. Where do you think Louisville finishes in the ACC this season? They were 500 last year.
Slightly above 500. Yes, they are rebuilding, but they have some nice pieces. I like the toughness of their fifth-year senior point guard Cunningham. They have a budding star in Jordan Wara, and they have a really nice home court advantage, Lev.
I agree, and Chris Mack, his coaching acumen, his experience, the ability to navigate a rugged conference going against other tough coaches. I think 11-7 is within reach for Louisville, and I like their athletic wings. Casey Mensah-Mora, but also King and Sutton, 6'5", 6'6", 6'9", and mixing those defenses, I think Louisville's going to be tough.
That Michigan State win gave him some confidence. What about Seton Hall? Where were they finishing the Big East?
There's 10 teams in the Big East. I'm going to slate them at 6. Miles Powell is a total stud, and he's must-watch TV for me, but do they have a second and third scorer? You need that in the Big East Conference.
Yeah, I'll go 4th or 5th, be a little more generous in my grading in terms of the Pirates because of Kevin Willard, who continues to improve as a coach. coach. So I like him.
All right, K-State, we'll see them later on today. They're 6-0 right now, went to the Elite Eight last year. Are they the biggest threat to Kansas's reign this year in the Big 12?
No question, Mike. They're not going to win the Big 12. It's Kansas's again for the 15th straight year. But Kansas State is a team that made the Elite Eight last year. They're a really good defensively lab. They return all 5 starters. Dean Wade, Barry Brown are awesome, and they're seniors. They're their 2 best players. They make you uncomfortable. They're an excellent basketball team.
Yeah, and Diarra, an athlete that can get to the basket. Brown, a ball hawker, will be the all-time Wildcats steal leader in school history. Some great players have gone through K-State. Bruce Weber's coaching. I like them to dethrone Kansas.
I love Zion Williamson. He's entertaining, but give me the most entertaining player in the nation right now, not named Zion Williamson.
IGGY. Iggy's got a hairstyle that's awesome. He's got the game to match, so he's the leading scorer for Michigan as a freshman.
I like that choice. I'm going to go Bol, 7'2", with skills for the Oregon Ducks. They'll be quacking come March.
Just at the buzzer right there. Buzzer beater.
It was.
Quacker. Dwayne Sutton getting ready to roll. Of course, we got college hoops all day long right here on Fox and on FS1.
Not long ago, Rhonda started here. And then more jobs began to appear. These techs in a lab, this builder in a hard hat, the welders and electricians who do all of that. The diner staffed up because they all needed lunch. Teachers, doctors, jobs grew a bunch. What started with one job spread all around because each job in energy creates many more in this town. Energy lives here.
There's no one I'd rather hit the road with.
No one I'd rather have dinner and a movie with.
No one I'd rather lean on.
Being in love is an amazing thing. Being in love with your best friend is everything. The Ever Us 2-Stone Collection. 1 diamond for your best friend, 1 for your true love. For the one woman who's both. Ever Us, now 30% off at Kay.
At Ace, the best brands make the best gifts.
Right now at Ace, get free assembly and delivery on any grill, $3.99 and up from brands like Weber, Traeger, and more.
Just like Santa, our elves build it and a guy in red delivers it.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. Howdy, folks, it's dinner time. Chickens fried and tasty sides. All of this for just $20. Get it from a KFC. Howdy, folks, it's dinner time.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Rated M for mature.
Shall we dance on a bright cloud of music? Shall we fly? Shall we dance? Shall we then say goodnight and mean goodbye? Shall we dance? Shall we dance? Shall we dance?
How do I look? Like Mickey Rourke was stung by bees. Perfect.
You're the Worst, the final season, Wednesday, January 9th on FXX.
Marcus Mariota and the Titans. Fought for the touchdown. Clash with Leonard Fournette and the Jaguars. Unbelievable. Thursday Night Football on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video.
Seton Hall looking for his 4th straight win. Mamu trying to help him get the job done. Sees leading the team in rebounds and blocks this season, taking on Louisville 13 minutes on Fox. Hey, don't forget tonight is the Big Ten Championship game, football between Northwestern and Ohio State. We'll preview. Send it over to Rob Stone.
All right, Mike, thank you. Robert Smith, Matt Liner, Coach Wannstedt here with me. The Buckeyes off to their 2nd straight and 4th overall Big Ten championship game. Northwestern has never been there. The Buckeyes coach, heavy favorites. Their defense got their swagger back last week versus Michigan. Their offense has been flaunting it all season long. But if there's a soft spot in them, where do you see it?
Well, the soft spot in Ohio State's offense has been when they get down into the red zone. They're second from the bottom in the Big Ten in scoring in the red zone. Only Rutgers is behind them. So when they score quick, it's easy. When they have to drive it and punch it in is where they've had problems.
I think a big key for me, Northwestern defensively, how are they going to slow down this Ohio State offense? Do you take away Dwayne Haskins in that great pass game? Do you kind of sell out to stop the run with Weber and J.K. Dobbins? We'll see what they have to do. We know they can't play man-to-man. They're going to have to play zone coverage.
Yeah, and Northwestern's probably going to have to score some points at some point in the game. And Clayton Thorson, remember, he had ACL surgery 11 months ago, so he got healthier as the season went on. 14 touchdowns on the season, but 12 interceptions. He really has to take care of the football, and like the Wisconsin game, win not just with his arms, but try and make plays with his legs.
Pat Fitzgerald saying this week, threes are important. We can give them threes, just don't keep giving them sevens, or we can be in big trouble. Can't wait for this one later tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox. Mike?
All right, looking forward to it, Rob. Hey, Miles Powell, one of the best scorers in college basketball, and this year, he's finally getting his chance to lead by example.
I'm the leader this year, so I'm just trying to embrace the fact that I am the leader. I'm the voice now. For the younger guys, we got to show them the right way, on and off the court. So I know that they look up to me, and whatever I do, they're going to want to do.
Don't you get the best price booking at one of those travel sites?
They tell you that, but when you book at Hilton.com, you get the price match guarantee. So if you find your room at a lower rate, Hilton is like, we're going to match that rate and give you an extra 25% off.
What would travel sites do if you found a better price?
That's not my problem. It's your problem. Get out of here.
Wow, really felt that performance.
It's just acting. I'm really good at it. Book at Hilton.com and get the Hilton price match guarantee. If you find a lower rate, we match it and give you 25% off that stay.
And the award goes to Kendra.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I just won. Oh my gosh. I want to thank my mom, my manager, my babysitter. Look, girls, mommy's on TV. Time to go to bed.
Ma'am, your order is ready.
And I like to thank my dog walker.
Your order's ready.
It feels like a big win when you get a deal like this. Introducing McDonald's new $6 Classic Meal Deal. Choose one of 4 favorites. Plus, any size soft drink, small fries, and a pie. All for just $6.
Who's got enough guts to win this thing?
Here we go. Martinez steps up and scores. Portland are back in front. What a bullet of a goal. Magic in the postseason. What a finish.
MLS Cup, next Saturday at 7:30 Eastern on Fox.
Mars is where we solve problems that have never been solved before.
Mars, new episodes Mondays at 9 on National Geographic.
Twin brothers defend their titles in an epic night of fights on Fox. Middleweight champion Jermall Charlo takes on Willie Monroe Jr., while junior middleweight champion Jermell Charlo defends his belt against Tony Harrison. PBC on Fox, live from Barclays Center, December 22nd, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Fox College Hoops pregame is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Getting you ready for a full slate of basketball on FS1 and on Fox. On FS1, it'll be Xavier. And that guy right there, Quentin Gooden. Xavier's leading scorer at 13.8 points per game, taking on Oakland and Louisville, and the Hall coming up as well. Jordan Ward, double-figure scoring in every game this season for the Cardinals, coming off that big win against the Spartans. And Miles Powell, of course, Seton Hall, leading the way after they lost so much from last year's team. He is getting the job done for the Pirates this year. Time now to shine a spotlight on some. Let's go back to Jordan Powell. Let's go back to last season. Last season, Seton Hall relied heavily upon his seniors, with underclassman Miles Powell fighting to prove himself among his more experienced teammates. Now a junior, Powell is the Pirates' clear-cut leader on the court, and his scoring sensation is more than savoring the opportunity.
Miles Powell will be the guy who tries to restore greatness to Seton Hall.
High expectations for him, not only to have a good individual year, but be a leader for this team also.
I'm the leader this year, so I'm just trying to embrace the fact that I am the leader. I'm the voice now.
He understood that there was
a huge void left from 4 seniors left, and I think he really stepped to the plate in being a leader, and the fact that he kind of understands now what it takes to be a leader. For the younger guys, we got to show them the right way, on and off the court. So I know that they look up to me, and whenever I do, they're going to want to do.
And I feel like he had a great background because of the seniors, but he's still learning like how to be tough on players, you know? Because he has a big heart.
He's one of the most genuine, caring people you'll ever meet. Like, he'll take care of you like you're his own blood. And I think he's very underrated this year. He's one of the best players in college basketball.
Y'all gotta move. Y'all gotta move. Y'all gotta move. Give me some room. Give me some room.
Coach, he's been telling me all summer, you're going to be the guy. You need to work on other things than just scoring the ball. When he came out of high school, he was strictly a jump shooter, and he's worked really hard to be more of a playmaker than just a shooter.
He can hurt you in so many ways. He really can. Y'all gotta move. Y'all gotta move. Give me the two.
When he came to Seton Hall, he was 250.
When I first came in, I was 255. I weighed more than the bigs, and coach sat me down and he told me if I want to play professional or even play in college, I have to get my weight down. So I try to stay away from carbs, juice, soda, candy. Now I'm between 190, 195.
It was times where he would motivate me to go to the gym because he would like put it on his Snapchat and Instagram. I was like, oh, no, I gotta go get in the gym now. But he's not gonna stop until he gets what he wants.
I'm moving faster. I can jump, fly higher. I can shoot farther. And I love that the most because I'm a jump shooter.
What a three from Myles Powell. They call him Cheese.
Yeah, they still call me Cheese now. When my name's out there, when I'm having a good game, it says Cheese for 3. So, I mean, I love my nickname. It's going to stick with me forever.
I expect Myles to be the best player in the country. I really do. I think he's got that game. I'm expecting someone that on any given night can give us 30 to 35 points.
Performance by Myles Powell with 40 points.
Coach has always had so much confidence in me. Coach said that, and that's what I'm rooting for. Be one of the best players in the country.
And we expect Myles Powell to make a huge impact today as well, Casey.
Mike, I'd argue there is no guard in the country that is more important to his team's offense than Myles Powell. He's taken 91 shots this year. The next closest teammate, Torian Thompson, has only taken 43.
Wow.
All right, so he's option number 1 and number 2. And despite all that attention that defenses give him, he still shoots a higher percentage, Lab. My problem is, if Myles Powell doesn't score, I'm not sure Seton Hall can beat good teams yet. Maybe Quincy McKnight can step up. And on the other side of the ball for Louisville, Kristen Cunningham. He is the 5th-year transfer from Samford, and it took him a while to figure things out. His first 3 games, he just shot 20% from the field. In his last 3, 48%, so it looks like a light bulb has gone off. He's starting to figure it out. He's not really a scorer. He's more of a facilitator, and the best thing he does is lock you down on the defensive end, which is Louisville's identity.
You see he's leading the team in assists. Hey, Coach, what do you like about this kid, Ryan McMahon?
Well, he can shoot the ball, which means he stretches defenses, which creates better offensive spacing for Louisville. It allows the Warriors, the Kings, the Suttons to operate inside of defenses because of McMahon's ability to torch the nets from distance. So all of a sudden now Louisville feels they have a better bench, a spark, and a threat on the perimeter.
You heard Casey talking about giving some help to Myles Powell. Maybe Quincy McKnight can help.
Yeah, he needs to return to form at Sacred Heart. He was 19 points per game 2 years ago. He's had 14, 20 or more point performances when he was at Sacred Heart, so he needs to return to that production here at Seton Hall. The transfer needs to start contributing.
All right, once again, Seton Hall has won 3 in a row. Louisville, of course, coming off that huge win against Michigan State, trying to keep it going, trying to keep their confidence flowing as well on the road. Hey, tip-off between Louisville and Seton Hall at the Prudential Center coming up right after the break. Make sure you stick around for that. As the cheerleaders ready to go, Steve Lavin has taught them all their moves, right, Steve?
It all comes down to this.
Everything that you got for 60 minutes.
Northwestern, Ohio State, the Big Ten Championship presented by Discover. Tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Good Day Wake Up. Good Day New York. Watch New York's winning teams. Weekday morning starting at 4:30 on Fox 5.
You're still out there chasing what matters. At Aetna, we're committed to taking care of the whole you. With Medicare Advantage plans that offer health coaching and fitness memberships, plus hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage in one simple plan with $0 monthly plan premiums. Aetna Medicare Solutions. Call today to learn more and we'll send you a $10 Visa reward card with no obligation to enroll. Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Call now.
PC Richard and Son. Get gifting.
Football on Fox 5 this Sunday, brought to you locally by BMW. Test drive a BMW at your Tri-State BMW centers today, or visit us at tristatebmw.com. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
What's the farthest we've been up there?
Oh, 13 billion miles?
Oh, humans. Always finding ways to go further. Like Chase.
Huh?
Chase. I mean, they've always gone further, but now they've taken Sapphire beyond into banking. No ATM fees anywhere on Earth, and perks from here to the moon. I mean, they're out of this world. Oof.
What happened?
I got dizzy. I went too far beyond. World meets Sapphire Banking.
Just across the river from New Jersey, New York City, as today we bring you Fox College Hoops, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's the ACC and the Big East on display in the first of three, the Louisville Cardinals against Seton Hall. Hi again, everyone. Tim Brando, happy to be joined by the governor. This is his part of the world, and he knows these are two teams highly competitive, and both, I think, trending in the right direction.
They're trying to find an identity. I mean, both of them are very similar. A lot of the same philosophies on the defensive end. I think it's all going to boil down who gets the most free throws and the loose change.
Speaking of trending in the right direction, Andy Katz, how about that Louisville win over Michigan State? What did it do for them?
Well, that's right, Tim and Bill. And as you know, in this business with coaches and players, when you take over a job, it's all about buying that credibility. What are you selling, and are the players buying it? And the staff told me after they went 0-2 in New York, they needed that win over Michigan State for the players to believe. They got it. They do. We should have a great afternoon. Back to you, Tim.
Here are the starting lineups brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Quincy McKnight, the transfer, is going to engineer this Seton Hall team. And on the opposite side, they're hoping for big things from Stephen Enoch inside for Chris Mack's club in his first year after coming over from Xavier. Our officials for today's game: Mike Roberts, Brent Hampton, and Ron Gruber. Outstanding crowd. Places jumping
Very nice,
here at the Rock.
Well, people get up early in this part of the country. I know you're not used to that.
I think I got in about the time you did.
Well, they sacrifice in the evening, so they're fresh in the morning.
Indeed. Well, the opening tap is controlled to Seton Hall.
Jimmy B right now. The Cards. A lot of ball screens. Both clubs do a good job of it. Michael Enzi, terrific slipping. What a nice find. Mamadou. How about that cut? That was a compliment.
Mahmoud Kelishvili, right out of the gates. This is a young man that made his way from across the pond, and they're expecting big things out of him as the season goes on. A greater inside presence certainly needed for Seton Hall with the loss of some outstanding talent, as you well know.
To me, right now, a little matchup 2-3, a bite on the pump.
Perry inside on a quick rebound, taken down by Michael Enzi.
Nice kick.
Beautiful foul. Powell on the wing.
In the early, that's where you've got to find Powell. Dynamite in the open floor.
At 40 against Grand Canyon.
I shook hands with him. It was still hot.
They're trying to find their second scorer on this team.
I think it's going to vary game to game. So it just seems to be that type of lineup. And he's very good around the rim. Very clever.
That would remind you of some outstanding play that they got in the past from the likes of Delgado. It's hard coming into this building and not seeing Carrington, Delgado, Sanogo.
Exactly.
So much of that talent.
Like old suits.
Yeah.
Accustomed to the little full court pressure, back it up, make him lose. Nothing going with 13 on the clock. Got to go to the rim. Or shoot that as well. Very guy who's very good at turning the corner. Gets to the rim very well, makes those free. Moves around the rim, the Euro step, etc.
Darius Perry, young man out of Marietta, Georgia.
A lot of ball slips, you'll see. Ball screen slips. That happens.
Miles Hale out of Middletown, Delaware.
33% from three. Now you're looking for somebody to ring the bell. That certainly helps.
Yeah, he only had one bucket against Miami, and what was a very important win as well for the Hall.
Nice kick.
Sutton with a beautiful dish. Here he is with Enoch on the offensive glass, but he can't get it to go. Pulled away by Enzi, but I think he might have been on the inline. He was. There's Chris Mack. What a remarkable career at Xavier, his alma mater, before taking this job. I think probably a destination location for him in many ways.
Chris is from there. The guy is an amazing teacher. Wins. Nice little step in.
Inbound steal by Powell. Knocked away by Perry.
And just a little extra bump at the end. Got to protect that ball at the rim. Once again, the ability to turn it over and get open floor opportunity. I thought he could have done a better job protecting that basketball. Get it on the right hip.
First foul on Darius Perry.
Getting back to Chris Mack. Amazing Xavier, the consistency of the program. The ability to develop players is extraordinary. And that's what he's doing with this year's team. And from what I'm told, next year, Tim, loading up with some really talented kids. Aurora, one of those guys that's certainly going to help him in the future as well. Missed that open jumper.
There's Kevin Willard. What a job he has done here now in his 9th season. Hard to believe. 4-2 overall. Of course, born into the game, was coached by his son, by his father at Pitt, and had a tremendous tie with the Louisville program and Rick Pitino, of course, as well at one time.
Big shoes to fill when you think of Carlissimo,
Raftery. What was that, 11 years you held on to that job?
Oh, my God.
My goodness.
They didn't look at results. Very good low post player. Likes to bounce. Got hooks, Enoch. Very tough one. I think that gives him a nice presence.
Ramu Kalashvili actually did a nice job defensively there.
They do a nice job of finding trail people. They were looking for Powell. Good cover.
There's the kick out to Powell.
Something with the tough match here.
Street line drive rejected by Enoch.
Big presence. So couldn't get that one high enough, but that's what's made Powell such a tough out. He's quicker. He's lost that weight. He's healthy. Just couldn't elevate high enough with the big fella.
McKnight triggering it into Enzi. Oh, that's going to be a reach-in foul. Take a look now at our Geico players to watch, Bill.
Well, obviously, Aurora, we mentioned a guy that's very confident. Talking to Chris before the game, he thinks offense, really has a great feel for the game. Tough four-man matchup for people.
His game inside gets better, and Enoch is a key to that. They're going to be even more of a difficult team to solve as the season wears on. Shot clock down to 5. Hale's going to have to do it on his own. Stripped away. Beautifully done by Wara. On the other end, Cunningham has it knocked away. Swatted out by Mamu Kalashvili again.
Good hustle. That's why you run the floor to help your teammates. Pretty good hands at the one end, but a nice counter with the balance, being in a good spot. Puts the McKnight offering it up as well.
I think we can call him Mamu Kalashvili. We can go Sandro now. That ball's knocked away. It'll be triggered into the front court by Louisville with 20 to shoot. I think we could call Mamu Kalashvili a Sandro now.
Sure, as long as the folks don't call. No long distance amount.
4 missed layups early on for Louisville, but they have been well defended.
A nice little high-low here.
Ooh. Almost a carry by Enoch. Working on Sandro, goes to the left hand. That's a beautiful move.
He's got some talent down low. Just like his style. One thing Chris wants him to go to the rim. Don't be fading away with those hooks.
Constant motion, Powell. Up and over Perry.
Strength, huh, to get it up there.
Arias will get the foul.
Pretty good start from Seton Hall, but looming large in that low block area. Enoch with the ability to convert.
It's the Big East and the ACC on Fox, the first of 3 today.
These people, they speak a language we cannot understand.
Deductible?
Definitely speaking insurance.
Additional interest on umbrella policy?
Can you translate?
Damage minimization of civil commotion.
When insurance needs translating, get answers in plain English at ProgressiveAnswers.com.
He wants you to sign Karen's birthday card. It's a high honor.
Count Pamplemousse, since you are my guest, I will try your meat. Indeed.
It's got an amazing mouthfeel.
Nope, I can't do it. 2 Bud Lights, please.
But I don't like Bud Light.
They're both for me.
Bud Light, for the many, not the few.
You asked, and it's back. The Papa John's Double Cheeseburger Pizza brings cheeseburgers and pizza together again. It's the best reunion ever. For $11, get a large pizza with double beef, zesty burger sauce, cheese, Roma tomato.